Welcome to the World 8-Ball Pool Championships 2005, sponsored by 888.com, coming to you from the Hilton Hotel on the seafront in Blackpool. The world's best players have been here for some time now, chasing a total prize fund of £30,000. We're now down to the quarter-final stage. Indeed, this is the last quarter-final coming up. That's what's happened so far. Chris Melling through, in the end quite comfortably against Keith Jones. A real marathon match between Phil Harrison and Darren Appleton. Phil just shading it 9-8, and Yannick Beaufils, the Frenchman, going out to Gareth Potts 9-3. So it's now between Jason Twist and Keith Brewer. That's the match we're about to enjoy. And with me, the studio guest today, Joe Fanto, the president of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation. Joe, this should be some match.
Should be a great match, David. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the young veteran in Keith Brewer make it to this level again. Just to see his foxy tactics against the flash.
He's won it twice before, of course. I mean, great record Jason's got.
Yes.
But Keith, as you say, keeps going on and on.
Yes, and it's just going to be interesting to see the attacking style of Jason Twist against Keith Brewer, who still seems to be able to play the defensive game, and just to see his experience out there at this level again.
And what sort of match are we going to see? Is it going to be a slow, patient attack from both players, or is it going to be rapid fire?
I think it'll be rapid fire from Jason Twist, and Keith will try and control the temperament of the game to his style and see if he can possibly offset Jason's rhythm.
And in terms of current form, which of the two players would you say is playing the better pool?
I would have to say Jason Twist would have the edge.
Yeah, but Keith, people keep writing him off, as you say. He's this experienced young veteran, but he seems to have been going on forever, but still plays to a very high standard.
Yes, Keith has seen many young players come and go, and he's dealt with them, and still manages to make these quarterfinals, and it's a real credit to him. He's a great ambassador to our game.
So Jason Twist, then, he is the man that you would put your money on. He's probably got the slightly better record, well, certainly got the better record here, but at the moment in slightly better form.
Yes, I'm predicting Jason Twist win.
OK, thank you very much indeed for that, Joe. So still to come, of course, commentary on this match. That'll come up from Tony Holgate in just a moment. But first of all, let's join our MC, Alan Hughes.
Thank you, David. And the last quarter-final is about two of the game's all-time greats. First, a legend, incredibly looking for his first world title in what has been a fantastic career spanning nearly 30 years, and an opponent who's captured the world title on 2 occasions and now looking for a record in the blue ribbon of 8-ball. Ladies and gentlemen, together will you welcome the Brew and the Tornado, Keith Brewer and Jason Twist.
We're back to our last quarter-final now here in Blackpool. This year's 888.com World 8-Ball Pool Championship. And it's the old campaigner himself, Keith Brewer. And he'll be up against the flamboyant Jason Tornado Twist. As Brewer comes across to shake Twist's hand. And there you see the Tornado, a 2-time former world champion. And he's going to be playing Brewer, who's about to break us off in the first frame. Amazingly, never won a world title.
Foul.
And he's gone in off the break as well at the start. And that's not what you want to be doing in a world championship against Jason Twist. With me in the commentary box, of course, our referee Sean Baker. And that's not the start Brewer wanted, is it, Sean?
No, I think Keith would have been looking out to come out here and get a break and dish, keep Jason away from the table in this first frame, and just get his nose in front early doors and hope to put some pressure on Jason's game. But he's handed the advantage straight back to Jason here, and I think Jason will be taking yellows, and it could be 1-0 and not too distant
Yellow
future.
ball's in play.
Well, Twist, one of the faster players in world pool. He's been a great champion previously, and like Chris Melling, that's in the top half of the draw, both players looking to go into the record books for being the first player to win 3 world titles. The other one, of course, is Rob McKenna, who's been knocked out. He's also won 2. He did land very good there, Jason Twist. Bit stuck to the yellow.
I don't know whether he can quite get through to that yellow into the left-hand middle pocket. Doesn't look like he can, but we can't quite see from where we're looking here. But as you said there, Jason's bidding for his 3rd title now. We can see that shot, that he actually can't see that ball, so he's going to be looking for a possible safety shot here, but I don't really see
30
what
seconds.
he's got. Is he looking maybe at a double? Coming off the side cushion and into those. I don't know, he's trying to bend this.
Twist attempting a swerve. Not
Red
got it,
ball's
but
in play.
second prize. And then we'll have another look at this attempted swerve shot from Jason Twist. You see the cue ball bend, he just wanted to come over a bit more.
Yeah, he didn't have a great distance there between where the cue ball started his travel to the object ball he was aiming at, so he's not been able to bend it enough in time. But it's left it awkward for Keith here. He's bridging over these yellows.
Well, certainly we're going to see a big contrast in styles in this match.
30 seconds.
We've got Jason Twist, of course, the fast, exciting, flamboyant character that he is, against Keith Brewer here, who is probably the best tactical genius of all time. What a great shot there from Brewer. Decided to come off the rail first because he's bridging straight over that yellow. Give him a little bit more cue ball to aim at.
Yeah, I mean, he had to make sure he got that right as well, because by coming off the cushion first, after he's hit the red, obviously a ball has then got to hit a cushion or be pocketed, or it'd have been a foul shot. But no, it was an excellent shot there from Keith, and he's giving him a chance here to get back into this frame.
Seconds.
The thing you were saying there about the tactics, Tony, is Keith will only play tactical if the frame doesn't open up at the beginning. If he gets an opportunity, he will go game. It's not like he's, as we'd say under the old rules, a fudger. But I say it's just if the balls don't split nicely, or somebody lays a ball over a pocket to try and block the pocket, that's when it starts getting tactical. And as you say, that's where Keith does come into his own. But I can see Jason's very direct when that happens, and he doesn't like to see that happen. So he'll get straight in there, start playing maybe a tactical foul, and open the game back up again, trying to work it back into his favour. But at the moment, Keith looks like he could be going 1-0 up here.
Well, Brewer, of course, getting to the quarter-final, beating Pat Holtz from Scotland in the last 16 by 8 frames to 5. I believe you refereed that match, Sean, didn't you?
Yes, I was, and was the referee for that, Tony. But I think by both players' admissions, it was not the best match that you'd ever want to see. Pat was certainly struggling with his game, and every time he sort of came to the table, he wasn't getting it right, giving Keith an opportunity. And Keith didn't have to play that well to win that game. He was handed it to him a little bit by Pat. He played well enough. It was solid pool, but he didn't have to do anything fancy. And I say, Pat, I think, was a bit disappointed because he came into the tournament with a bit of form from playing in Scotland, and it just didn't work for him. I mean, having put out the former world champion Carl Morris in his previous match, I think Pat was quite confident. But I say, it just didn't happen for him, and that was how it went. Keith's just played the solid pool and gone through 8-5, as you said.
Well, Brewer just going to squeak this red into the centre pocket. You see lost check side, bringing the cue ball back into perfect position, and now Brewer, as you see, just takes his time. He knows he's got a simple red into the centre, and that's going to be followed by a very easy 8-ball into the bottom right hand corner. Brewer likes to play at his own pace. He will not be hurried, but this is a good start for Keith. Down it goes, and Brewer draws first blood. He leads Jason Twist by 1 frame to 0. Let's see what the Twist break has to offer.
He's made a red there in the middle pocket, and so the break's obviously worked for him there straight away. And this is what you like to see from Jason. Here's the break shot again. He's got into them quite well. Nice split, but just a little bit awkward with that black, as seems to be tied up with a yellow and a red. But say, that's the sort of thing Jason likes to do. He'll get in, be aggressive, and he'll try and develop that.
Well, I know earlier that I was talking to Jason Twist, and he wandered into the practice
30
room,
seconds.
and Keith Brewer was practicing covering pockets. And Jason Twist said to him, he said, I don't know why you're bothering practicing them, because you're not going to get the chance.
Yellow ball's nominated.
We'll wait and see if he does or not. But that's a great shot from
Yellow
Jason
ball's
Twist.
in
Just
play.
look at that cannon into the balls. Play the yellow into the corner, knock the reds out of the way, and just look at that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about, Tony. That aggressive nature of Jason's. He's got straight in there, cracking flick off the red, potted the yellow, and broke out and opened the black up.
Well, the only negative thing that did do was block off that yellow that's at the right-hand side of the table, just above the middle pocket. But he's got an angle here to knock it out straight away. Oh, and hasn't he played that well? He's even left the angle to get to the top of the table for his last remaining bad yellow. And this would be such a great finish from absolutely, well, you think that he had nothing.
The thing is, this is the sort of form that's won him those 2 world titles, Tony. You know, this. I remember when he played, when he last won it. He's come out. He's played really aggressive like this, and it's done it for him. And he certainly appears to be on form.
Well, Twist victories were 99. Well, 2000, 2002, I believe, actually, Sean. The 2 years that Twist won it. Sandwiched in between 2 Melling wins.
Yeah, you're correct there, Tony. It was 2000, 2002 that Jason took the title, and he's certainly looking on form that he could be that first person to take that 3rd world title.
Well, I think there might be a man in the top half of the draw. Chris Mellon might have something to say about that.
Well, that's it, but I don't think Jason's worried about him at the moment. He's concentrating on getting himself back into this game, 1 frame all.
Well, this has been a tremendous finish from Jason Twist. The simple 8, down it goes, and Twist fires a reminder at Keith Brewer that he's alive. It's 1-1 here in Blackpool. Well, Keith Brewer now comes to break off in frame 3. It's a race to 9. So be careful with that cue ball. He's put it very central. A lot of the players have been breaking from the side. When you play it central and screw into the top ball, you can flirt dangerously with the middle pockets. Not a great break though, was it?
No, they've not seemed to split very well at all there. I mean, there's Reds would look to be the ball potentially here, but there certainly doesn't appear to be. There's certainly not straightforward clearance anyway. But having watched Jason in the last frame, we know what he's capable of, and he could quite easily develop those 2 Reds out of there, engineer an opening for himself, and get his nose in front in this match early on.
30 seconds.
Be interesting to see Keith actually swap sides there on his break. He broke from the other one, from the other side in the first frame when he went in off, and he's obviously decided he's going to go the other way.
Red ball's in play.
Well, there's a great effort there from Twist. Dislodged the reds, but just wondering if that red will go past the yellow and towards the red that's covering that bottom right hand corner. If it does, he's got a chance of a finish, and that looks very tight indeed. So he can consider himself a little bit unfortunate. But once again, it's Twist firing from the hip.
30 seconds.
Well, if he does elect to play this plant, he's got a bridge over that red ball. But again, he's one of the steadier cues, isn't he, Sean?
Yeah, he's got a rock solid action. So, I mean, he's been playing for a fair number of years, so he's potted that. That's a great shot. Fantastic shot from Jason Twist there.
Well, I thought he just landed a bit too close to be playing that one, but what a great shot. I mean, just look how close he is to this red. And that is a superb pot by Jason Twist. Well, he lost that first frame and Keith Brewer mopped them up. But he's certainly not bothered about losing that opening frame. And this isn't what Brewer wants. And there you see the steady grip of Jason Twist. I know what Brewer want to do. He want to jump out of his chair and smother that table with a blanket to try and stop Jason Twist potting.
Yeah, but that's exactly what Jason will stop Keith doing, or try to stop him doing, by this aggressive play. You know, where Keith's maybe covered a pocket or he's tied a ball up, Jason will just look at breaking it out.
Well, early alarm bells are ringing in Keith Brewer's ears as Jason Twist plays a great positional shot there. He's on that awkward red now. He can play the plant into the middle pocket. And he's naturally taking a cue ball into a nice open area of the table, so he's bound to be on his next ball. Just as long as he plays the plant and the second red doesn't slide up the rail, everything should be pretty plain sailing for Jason Twist.
Yeah, that's always a danger of playing these plants, where the ball that's not going to be pocketed actually runs away, and I think he's had a little bit of fortune there. It's just...
Well, he's left himself a little bit thinner than he'd liked. We'll have another look at his plant. You see, he makes that no problem, but the cue ball kissing the black ball. And if you look at the second red near the middle bag, it's over the far side, so he needs to get the cue ball up the table a bit here. And you can see Jason Twist, he's just looking to play this red off the cushion, off that yellow that's near that corner bag, to give him a bit more leeway to get the cue ball up. Well, what a great shot from Twist. Played that to perfection. And just look how easy his next shot is to get on the black.
I'll tell you what, he nearly potted the other red as well. He just flicked it on the way past. Just a slightly heavier contact, and I think he might have potted it.
Well, there you see him play the cannon into the yellow. Also freed that pocket up completely as well to leave a path for the black ball. And this is vintage Jason Twist. He's now got the simple 8 into the bottom corner. And Twist fires himself into a 2-1 lead. Well, the tornado up at the table, breaking off frame 4. He's scored 2 in a row, quick fire succession. And again, he's made another ball off the break.
Red ball
and if he can get to the red ball in the right-hand centre, apart from the red at the bottom of the table, he's got a good chance of going out again.
You know, the thing is, Tony, he might elect to take yellows if that's a plant over the bottom left-hand pocket. You could elect to take yellows because all the yellows are in the open as well.
Well, I believe the plant at the bottom of the table has to be made. It's not a straight, dead set one. And the two balls look very close together as well.
Seconds.
I think reds may be the option for Jason Twist.
Yellow ball's nominated.
Well, he's defied me. He's gone with your selection of yellows.
Yellow ball's in
Well, I'll tell
play.
you what, by knocking that red into the open, if he does miss a yellow now, he's left Brewer with a very easy finish.
Yeah, I've got to admit though, I don't think Jason will miss from here. I think he knew yellows with the ball for him there, and he didn't actually take the shot we were talking about, the plant, but I think it's still there, and if he gets in the right position down the table, he won't need to worry that the fact it's not an actual dead plant. He can just manufacture it, and it won't be a problem.
30 seconds.
Well, I think this is a tricky little finish here, Sean. Got to get to the yellow at the top of the table as well. He might not elect to go for them. He might just pop this in at the centre pocket and try and cover that bottom left-hand corner, and that will put Brewer in all sorts of trouble. That was amazing, that pot. Do you see how close that was to the two balls? I mean, nobody ever thought of it going in the corner.
No. I just wonder whether he was at that pace though. He's hit it hard. I just wonder if he was going to just try and flick off the yellow and just open him up a little bit. But I say he certainly hit it with pace, so it was a dangerous shot if that was a shot he was attempting, because the yellows could have gone anywhere, to be honest. With that red close there, could have quite easily got blocked off by the red. So no, it was an excellent shot, that was.
30 seconds.
Just look at the spin on the cue ball there from Twist. He's come a little bit too far, has he? Now he's going to have to start looking at the plant. The other shot he could play is to play the cut into the bottom right-hand corner, play a lot of right-hand side on the cue ball, and kiss into the 2 yellows that are over by the bottom left-hand corner.
That's a dangerous shot, though, that is, Tony. It is a dangerous. It looks like he's playing with some right-hand side here, as you were saying.
And that was his shot, but...
As I say, I was going to say, that's a dangerous shot, Tony. Why move the balls that were in a virtually a potable position? He's now left himself in a really difficult shot here.
Well, I think he's had 2 goes to move these yellows, because I don't think that it was a plant in the first place. So he did have to get into him, but like you say, Sean, that was very dangerous, because you're always going to be in trouble if you don't land on one of those 2 yellows. Well, Brewer will be getting himself ready to get out of his chair.
30 seconds.
There's no way he fancied Twist was going to attempt anything too rash there, but he's left Brewer a red on the right hand side that he can have readily available.
Yeah, I think the only problem Keith's got is those 2 reds that seem to be stuck together. I think if he gets in the right position, the right hand one will go in the right corner pocket, so I don't think this will be a problem. I think Keith will just be having a good look and plotting his way. Looks where it actually might be touching the cue ball there, the yellow.
He's elected to play the double back, and I'm not sure that was the right shot, but it's turned out well for him. And now he's got Twist in all sorts of trouble. If he didn't get that, that could have spelt danger there.
I just wonder if it wouldn't cut, Tony, probably because it was. They say the cue ball was actually touching the yellow.
Well, this is what Brewer wanted. He wanted to try and cover pockets, get Jason Twist in tactical drawn battles, because he knows that's his strong
30
point.
seconds.
And he's got Twist in a lot of trouble here. Well, that's all that Jason Twist could do. He had to get that yellow into the open. But Brewer will be looking for safety. Well, again, it's a very good safety from Brewer.
30 seconds.
There's not a lot of options here for Jason Twist. Going to try a cross double. A very low percentage shot. He's gone for that in the top corner. What a shot from Jason Twist!
That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's just pulled that out of... That's a rabbit out of a hat, that is.
Well, you just think that there's no way in the world that he can get the yellow up to that top corner.
So he's obviously...
Brewer's got to be absolutely devastated with that. This black for 3-1 for Twist. It's there, and Twist has done it. Pulled the rabbit out of the hat. He leads 3 frames to 1.
Well, that little bit of magic there from Jason Twist, giving him not only that last frame, but also he just really made a stamp on this quarter-final. He looks really to be playing well.
Well, up until that point, up until that great shot, it looked like a 2-all scoreline would be fair. But to pull off a shot like that under those circumstances was absolutely brilliant, and it's got to be one of the shots of the tournament so far.
Absolutely. I don't think anyone thought that shot was on, apart from Jason.
Well, he worked...
Perfect. I mean, all the way around the table and back again.
But not just to work it out, but to execute it.
Yeah.
The perfect angle from there.
Yeah, and Keith thinking he'd done a nice safety shot. There was no real problem. He got Jason in trouble.
And as I said, he's pulled a rabbit out of a hat and goes 3-1 up.
3-1, this is looking a bit ominous for Keith, isn't it? Because he's done pretty well so far, but already Jason's just easing away.
Well, he looked to be doing well to stay in the match at that point in time. But just that shot, it's really left me stunned. He really deserves to be 3-1 up. And Keith is going to have to improve on his break to take control when he breaks, because so far he's had 2 breaks, 2 poor breaks.
Trailing 3 frames to 1.
Keith Brewer up against it. Let's see what happens.
Well, it's Keith Brewer now breaking off This 5th frame here in this year's 888.com World 8-Ball Pool Championships, and he put a little bit more force in the break there, Brewer. He's been rewarded with a ball. And like I was saying in the studio there, Keith Brewer has not done an awful lot wrong and finds himself 3-1 down.
No, but the thing about Keith is he's got this, you know, he will never give up. If you go back to the early qualifying rounds of this tournament, he was playing a young lad from Hertfordshire called Danny Miller, and he found himself 5-0 down in next to no time, I believe, and he's come back, and I think the final score was either 7-5 or 7-6 to Keith. And so that's the sort of character he is. He's got this character where he won't give up, he will just keep going.
Well, the main problem for Brewer is the way Twist is playing. Brewer's opting for the reds. And now he's going to try and take out his finish. He'd like to have a bit more angle than that. He's on this red on the bottom rail. We know exactly where he's going to go next. He's got to drop that in. And then he's got a tricky little shot into that left-hand middle.
Yeah, I just wondered why he sort of cannoned that yellow. I know he may be trying to get the cue ball in a better position, but it's not worked out that way.
Well, no, I bet it's crossed Keith Brewer's mind to try and cover this bottom left-hand corner. If he feels that he can't get great position on the next one, he might do that. But I wonder if he might have learnt his lesson from the last one he did. Jason Twist taking a yellow off 2 rails round the table and potting it.
30 seconds.
But no, he's gone for the cover.
Yellow ball's in play.
Thought he might. That's Keith Brewer's game. Doesn't want to risk anything. Play the percentages. Well, I mean, that is the difference between maybe Keith Brewer, Jason Twist and Chris Mellin type players. There's no way in the world Jason Twist or Chris Mellin would have covered that pocket, then they'd have gone game.
No, they would definitely have gone game. I mean, with the cue power certainly of Chris and Jason, they'd have been punching that ball in and getting back up the table. And I think the referee by now, certainly if Chris had been playing, the referee would have been racking the balls up for the next frame.
Keith Brewer just wants to buy himself some time. Make sure he gets his finish, and Jason Twist being forced to try and block off Brewer, but he's not succeeded in doing so. Brewer now just going to play the red ball up towards the top right hand corner area. Might be going for a finish here, that's for sure.
Just trying to see what he's weighing up here now. I say, yeah, he's just going to play the tactical shot again there.
Well, what Keith was worried about, there was a little gap there for maybe yellow to go past that red in that corner. By just nudging it right over the bag, he's now took any of that out of the equation.
Yeah, Jason's in a little bit of trouble here now.
Well, we thought that in the last frame. I wonder if Jason Twist might try and cover the top left-hand corner. Also gets with that ball off the rail. This will be played very slowly up the cushion. No, he played it fairly pacey.
Yeah, I think he's gone for the pot there, Tony. Feel like he'd gone for the pot, certainly at that pace.
Yeah, but he wasn't on anything if he did pot it. Well, you wanted to drop this in dead weight if he's going for the pot anyway, because he'd have been on the yellow that's at the top of the table. By hitting it pacey, he'd have landed on nothing. I think we might see Brewer have a go now. Just plop this into the middle. The next one will go into that centre as well, but he'll also have an angle to try and move the red and yellow apart that's just below the cue ball.
Well, that's the thing with these games, Tony. Sometimes, we've proven the last one, you can sometimes get too overcautious and think, well, I'm not going to go for the finish here. I just want to get this into just a slightly better position. And all of a sudden, you find your opponent pulls a shot out of nowhere, as Jason did in the 4th frame, and all of a sudden, you've lost the frame that you should have been looking favourite to win.
Very true, Sean. Now, Brewer, I don't think he quite likes the angle. He wanted to be a little bit thinner on this red. He's had a go to move it and he didn't do it. Now he's got the choice of whether to pop the one over the pocket and try and nudge the red out, which is no way in the world Keith Brewer is going to do. We
Well,
can
sure
skim the other red towards the middle bag and bring the white at the top of the table.
I'm not sure that red goes in there, actually, Tony. I mean, it's certainly sticking out far enough. I think it's a dangerous shot because it's very close to the yellow, but I think it'd be the sort of shot that, again, you'd see Jason or Chris Mellon maybe have a
30
go at.
seconds.
He's certainly playing it.
Well, this has to be played at dead weight. As you can see, it didn't go. He just nudged it over the pocket. And now Jason Twist has got his back against the wall again. What can he pull out this time? Well, Jason Twist, as you can see, the main problem for him is a yellow ball at the left-hand side of the table, Sean, and he's got to try and get on that one of those yellows to get over there. But Brewer's played a clever shot because he has covered that left-hand centre pocket, and that stops all those three yellows going over there.
I'd say Jason could get, like I say, you said, back across the table, and in behind those, it gives him a chance.
He's made a good pot there, Jason Twist, but he needs to get to the left-hand side of the table off this yellow. If you can get over between those two reds that are in the centre, just below them, then he's got a chance. It's really a big ask for Twisty to get these. He has the angle, but again, it's
30 seconds.
cue ball control that's going to be paramount.
Yeah, but that's what Jason is very good at, as I said early on in the match. He's got excellent cue ball control. I wonder if does that yellow go past that red into the middle pocket? That's what he's obviously played for.
Well, if it does, he's going to be a bit stuck on his shot afterwards. You can see it goes in, but it's getting back down the table for the others. It's going to be the big problem. Again, he's going to have to play this at pace.
The problem he's got as well is that red that's in the middle of the table. It's probably hindering his
30 seconds.
path to the cue ball.
There you see, he went with the pace. He's tried to go off the red to clear it out the way of that middle pocket. And by doing that, he's missed a pot.
You'll see it hit the far jaw here and come back. Yeah, so it's done its jump back on him.
And it's always a danger when you're cannoning into a ball so close to that middle bag. Had to hit the red a lot thinner than that. Now Brewer left with the finish. See, he's really got to play the red that's over the pocket first. And I know he doesn't want to do that, because if he
30
does
seconds.
make a mistake after that, he's leaving the frame open for Jason Twist. But he needs to just get up anywhere where the cue ball is now, from the one over the bag, and then it's just simple. You pop the red into the bottom right corner, the black goes bottom left. But
Yeah, but to be honest, Tony, if he doesn't feel he can clear these from here, then he's very low on confidence. To be fair, a player of his ability.
it's just a positional shot from red to red. And he's opting to take the one over the bag last, and he's probably going to opt for the middle bag with the black, which is the harder route. We just know exactly where he's going to be putting the black now, be in the middle bag. Just got to bring the cue ball back straight across the table off this cushion. Just avoid the three yellows. And that is inch perfect. This black for Brewer to stop the rot. And in it goes, and Brewer pulls one back. He now trails Jason Twist by 3 frames to 2. Tornado strides to the centre of the arena, ready to break off in frame at 6. He's just seen Brewer fire one back at him. Nothing off the
Open
break
table.
for Twist. What's he left Brewer?
Not a great deal by looking at, Tony. He's possibly got a red in the top right. Whether he can quite get the one in the bottom right. There's his break shot again. As you see, they split nicely, but he's just not found a ball.
Steely-eyed Jason Twist, plonked firmly in his chair now for this frame. It's just the first shot for Brewer that's going to be the awkward one.
It's awkward queuing there. He's got his fingers very close between those boards. You see a good shot of that there.
And I'll tell you what, he missed that by some distance.
Open table.
And has he left Jason a chance? Well, he has, because he's got a ball certainly in the bottom left, and he could take this one bottom right as well if he'd want to take the one that's near there first. So that would give him an angle bottom right to come round.
Well, Twist going to have a little go at the reds now.
Red ball's in play.
Played that very well. He's got on the 2 reds now into this right hand centre. Once again, it's Twist doing the attacking. He's going to get first opportunity. Knows he doesn't want to hang about and play any tactics with Brewer.
That's what I said earlier. Like I say, he'll try and stop Keith's tactical game by just getting out there, total aggression, and take the clearances out. Don't give Keith a chance.
I think Jason wanted to come back a bit further.
Yeah, I think he was looking to take the red there into the left centre pocket, but he's only too great danger here.
Well, he can still play that shot. It's just a little bit more awkward than it should have been.
Yeah, he's taking the cue ball towards the yellow, which he didn't want to. The sort of middle one of those 3 on the left hand side.
He's made the pot. And now really you feel that he's going to have to play the one which is the security ball over the bottom left. And again, by taking that away, you're leaving Brewer a chance if you do make a mistake, which might guide him to maybe take one of the reds at the top, but no. Going for the jugular. Again, nice control from the Tornado. Lives in Ilfracombe in Devon. It's not an awful long way from me.
I was going to say that's your neck of the woods, Tony, isn't it? Yeah, you've been a little bit of a traveller recently. You've been moving around a little bit with your pool.
No, I've been to Ireland and back from over there. I live in Cornwall. It's not too far from Devon, obviously, but Jason Twist, even if he potted that red, he was snookered.
Yellow ball's in play.
Well, his own worst enemy there, but it wasn't an easy shot. Just undercut it. You'll see this red hit the cushion on the way down. And this is what Brewer needs. And again, Brewer went for that pot. There's no way he tried to cover that. And just look where he's left the cue ball. He's left Twist a chance now to play the plant across the table. It'll be red on the red. Just look at this again from Keith Brewer. Now, you wouldn't expect that. I mean, he's very close to the yellow, and really, that was a straightforward pot, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's missed that by a long way. A long way. It seemed like the initial sort of contact was it took it straight away from the rail, and it was never seemed to be going in.
Very thin plant this for Twist, but it's a chance still the same. And he's got it. Great shot from Jason Twist.
Yeah, fantastic shot from Jason there. Played it nicely controlled, because the danger of those shots is that he could have quite easily, again, we said earlier that the ball that's not going to be potted goes safe. So he's played a great shot there.
Well, this has really got to hurt Keith Brewer.
Foul. 2 minutes.
And there the referee's called the foul. We saw that in the last quarter-final where Yannick Beaufils against Gareth Potts moved aboard his waistcoat, and Jason Twist has now done the same.
I can't believe he's done that. I mean, a player of Jason's experience, that's incredible. I mean, he's got down, he's looked, then he's sort of gone a little bit further down, taken another look, I think, and then he's just gone down and given the foul. It's incredible. Well, this has handed a chance back to Brewer now that he should never have had. And this could be a turning point, this. If Keith gets back in this, is just one frame in it. And the referee was positioned sort of down the table, so he was looking straight up underneath there. And it was a great spot by Martin Pearson, our referee there. In exactly the right position for that shot.
Well, it's very, very careless of Jason Twist there. A player that knows that's Martin Pearson there, our referee. He was spot on with his call.
Yeah, he might have just been off Jason's Christmas card list now for a couple of years. But that's what he's out there to make the right calls and to be in the right position, and that was an excellent piece of refereeing there from Martin.
Well, Brewer, of course, still got the extra visit in hand, should he need it. I'm not sure he will. Just going to cut this yellow now into the bottom left-hand corner. He knows the frame's at his mercy. Gently does it for Brewer. There you see he's just stopped in the right place to get to that yellow in the centre pocket. Any more and he would have had to maybe use one of his extra shots. But now Brewer got this great chance now to level this match. And Jason Twist will be kicking himself. Simple black ball. He's got the extra visit, but he's not going to need it. And down goes the 8.
Fry.
And Keith Brewer pulls level. 3-3 here in Blackpool. Keith Brewer now just won the last 2 in a row. It's him to break in frame 7. Confidence has got to be on the up at the moment. He's made a ball off the break.
Red ball potted.
He's made a red there, Tony, and looking at those reds, it could be reds he's going, I think. Here he's got the one over that's over the bottom right hand corner pocket.
Red ball's in play.
You see Martin call there, that the referee call that Keith elected to take reds. Like I say, if Keith gets his chances, he will take them. He won't. He's not going to play tactical when the balls are there. He's quite capable. As I said earlier, he's been playing the game for many years, and he knows at the end of the day the game's all about potting balls, and that's what he's doing.
Well, there is a finish available there now for Brewer. I don't think we'll see him play safe in this frame. Keith Brewer, of course, lives down in Dorset, and that red has turned into that pocket. That's the nap of the cloth. It was going straight towards the jaw, and it's gradually leant to the left. Rather similar to a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And there you see the nap just take the ball in, Sean.
Yeah, and as we said earlier on, when somebody played a steady shot up the table in the previous quarter-final, again, the nap can just affect it when you play those steady shots. But it certainly helped Keith there, and he looks to be going to be clearing these up and taking a 4-3 lead.
Well, Brewer looking good at the moment. He's in a great position. Just wants to take this inside red now into the corner. He's got guaranteed position onto the black from this red. And Keith Brewer now start to believe that he could maybe topple the tornado. Just going to drag the cue ball up now for the black in the centre pocket. And there we are, Brewer looking very composed. No hurry, just wanders around the table. And this simple black to get his nose in front And then it goes, and Brewer now leads by 4 frames to 3 against Jason Twist. Well, Twist breaking off in the 8th frame. He'll be disappointed that he's behind in this match. Probably thought he was good value the way he started, that he's
Yellow
going
ball potted.
to sail away with it, but Brewer's making him think again.
He's made a yellow ball there, but again, I think he might elect to take reds.
Well, now it comes down to preference here. Yellows are probably slightly easier, but it's getting the first pot where reds are available.
30 seconds.
I think he may have that red in the right-hand middle pocket, Tony.
Yellow ball's in play.
Yeah, as you said, he's taking yellows, so it's slightly easier, but just got to get this first shot right.
The only real problem for Jason Twist is the yellow ball that's on the side cushion, and I wonder if he's on it now. Looks very much like he is. And he could afford to take this into that bottom corner pocket. Well, he might have to come cushion first if he's going to play that. I think that's what he might be looking at. Cushion first, because if he misses this, he covers that corner pocket, and you can see, obviously, Brewer's red there. I mean, he could actually play this off the red. In fact, I think he might be playing it off the red.
Red
He's
ball's
covered
in
the
play.
bag, but there is a gap there. And he won't be too pleased with that.
No, he isn't. You can see there's just a little bit of frustration there from Jason. That's unusual. Don't you see any emotion from Jason? I think he's felt that ball should have dropped. But it did it, that knuckle, a long way out. It settled back with that red. Like you say, he has left it open for Keith. If he can get back up the table, he can take a red into that pocket, disturb the yellow and get the other red out.
These are the frames that Brewer likes. Likes to get it all enclosed around the corner pockets. Try and get the frame one the tactical weight. Now Brewer has a chance here. He might play this red into the cushion, into that yellow in the bottom left-hand corner, and kick his other red out. And there you see, he's got the opportunity now. Let's play this with a fair bit of power. And he's played that very well indeed, Keith Brewer.
Yeah, and the bonus there was, no matter what happened with the balls that are coming out, he'd always got that red on the right-hand side.
I have to say, Sean, this is as well as I've seen Keith Brewer play for a number of years. I mean, he's always been a great player and a great competitor, but he just seems to have that little bit of extra sort of, you know, the extra sort of buzz or gear than he has had in previous years, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I said that in that last 16 match, although he didn't play brilliant, he didn't have to play brilliant, he just had to play nice solid pool, and that's all he's doing here, really. He's playing, you know, some good solid pool, not taking any chances, and when he gets a chance, he takes that. You know, that Jason's given him a chance.
Well, he's landed a bit awkward there.
That was the old commentator's curse there, I'm afraid, Tony. I think we've just maybe spoken a little bit too soon. But he's still got a chance. He's still got the red up the table. It's not easy. He's got to try and get back for those two that are on the right-hand side. I'm not 100% sure that certainly he'd have to take the outside one first.
Well, see, he's got no choice. He's got to play the red up into the top right-hand corner.
So
It's slightly awkward queuing. And it could be a case of very similar to what Jason Twist did, had a great chance and blew it from nowhere. Brewer's actually now looking at trying to skim off a red and try and cover that bag, but I don't think that's the correct shot. He's going to have to play that long red, and he doesn't like these shots. Well, he's opted to place that. Now, I find that extraordinary. I mean, there's a finish there for Jason Twist.
Yeah,
He just came off the side of the red and put the white on the top cush.
Jason just needs to play one good shot here onto this yellow into the middle, or he doesn't have to take that. He can take one down the bottom.
Do you think Keith Brewer's running very close to the time then, because he got down and hit that very quickly? I think he was running out of time and he just fired his cue at it.
He could possibly have done that, Tony, yeah. I mean, we've seen that happen, that players just sort of get down and play a shot that they've not really thought about. Like I say, Jason's played an excellent shot there into the middle. and Keith could have quite easily handed this frame now to Jason.
Yeah, I think between the two of us, we've done up Keith Brewer like a kipper. Built him up just to bring him back down again.
Yeah.
Now Jason Twist just needs to maybe screw into the black ball. That's a great shot there. The trouble is he's got the wrong angle now on his yellow. He's going to have to go up the table and back down again. And all of a sudden, Brewer might have another chance in his frame. There's a lot of cue power if he's going to go for this shot. He's playing a thin cut into the bottom right hand corner. The cue ball's then naturally going to go into that right top side rail, but he's got to also come around the table, missing that red that's at the top of the table. There's a lot that can go wrong with this shot. Lots of power here. Where's the cue ball going? He was close. Now this must be tight down into this bottom left hand corner. I don't think it goes.
Oh, it does. Yeah. See there from that camera angle.
It might be going cushion first and off the red. Oh, he's gone straight in. And what a great shot from Jason Twist. Well, just when you thought he was going to be in a lot of trouble, he's back. Down goes the 8, and Twist levels the match at 4-4.
There'll be a 5-minute interval.
And welcome back to Blackpool. You really do have to give credit to Keith Brewer. He was in deep trouble early on in this quarter-final, but he's really fought his way back into the match. It really is anyone's match. Let's now rejoin the action. Here's Tony Holgate.
Well, it's Keith Brewer now breaking off. Frame 11. He's just lost the last 3 frames in a row as Brewer. And he's got nothing off that break.
Yeah, he was very unlucky there. You see, if we see a replay of that, there was a red that actually jawed the right-hand middle pocket and came away. He's not made it, and he's given a chance here back to Jason. You'll see there that red. It appeared to be going in, just flicked to yellow, and it's actually then hit the jaw and come back. He's very unlucky. But I say, this is Jason's chance, and he just picked up the pace a little bit in the last frame with the break and clearance, and he could be looking at trying to do the similar thing here, although that's probably not the best shot he's ever played in the world. So he's now covered that yellow in the bottom left-hand pocket. So he's got a little bit of work to do again now here.
That's very right you are there, Sean. Next shot's going to be very hard indeed. He might just try and cover. You don't really feel that there's a finish on now.
30 seconds.
Well, Twist wants to go for the finish, but he's a little bit frustrated that he can't, because 2 yellow balls are tied up. He's going to have to try and cut this one across the bottom rail. We decided to bump the reds away instead.
Red balls in play.
See, that's not Jason's game. Just rolling a ball along a rail or something, or trying to cut it along a rail. He just tried to say he's got that yellow out, and he's moved those 2 reds, or attempted to move those 2 reds out of the way. So, and that's the way he plays. He's positive all the time. So he won't get caught up in this tactics, and so that's the way he wins matches, and the way he's won world titles.
Brewer's going to take this red into the centre. Now he'll be looking in a second to try and get a red ball in front of those 2 yellows, bottom left-hand corner. I think he might double this across. If he can get this one over the pocket, he knows he'll be in the driver's seat. He doesn't want this in. He's played it very well.
It's not right in the jaws there though, Tony, and I think if Jason gets a chance, he'll be able to get a yellow in there. Not directly, but certainly in there, and perhaps shift the red out.
Well, Twist knows what he's got to do now. He's got to try and get wedge of yellow behind that red. Either that will kick it out into the open. Well, he might be playing the yellow now. Yellow onto red, not the red in. Get the yellow ball over the corner pocket. And all of a sudden, you'll see Jason Twist playing Keith Brewer's game and playing it well. The danger here is if he plays his plant and doesn't hit it in exactly the right spot, the yellow won't cover the bag. And if that doesn't happen, the frame will be Brewer's.
Yeah, you'd expect that if you were to give Keith 2 visits from here. I say he's just playing now, trying to get a better position. I think he wasn't in the right position on that yellow. I think you might now be seeing him play the shot you were talking about, Tony. No, he's looking at something else here. I just wonder where he feels he can get that yellow in there.
Well, again, instead of playing the foul, he's gone for the attacking option.
That's a fantastic shot again. It's a fantastic shot. Like I say, he's bumped into the rail, moved the ball out of the way and allowed the other ball into the... It's a great shot from Jason Twist there.
I think he's not got the angle to go into the bad yellow that's tied up in the middle of the table, so he's going to have to pot this and come down. And this isn't easy. And there you see he's missed the pot.
Oh, look at this. Oh, flicked the red and that yellow nearly found its way into the top right hand corner pocket. I think that'd have been a bit cruel on Keith there because he missed that pot by quite a long way.
We'll have another look at this. Didn't cut it thin enough. Tried to borrow a bit of pocket. Try and wreck the cue ball back down the table. Really now you've got a fancy Brewer to get some sort of stranglehold on this frame.
30 seconds.
Well, he knows he can cover this pocket, but the trouble with him playing the red that's nearest the bag to cover is he's leaving Jason Twist on that other yellow that's nearby. He wants to cover that pocket and not leave the cue ball down there. Well, he's covered the bag. Now, will the yellow pass into the bottom right hand corner? If it does, Twist would have half a chance.
It's a very good, very difficult shot there because that cue ball and the yellow are very close together, so it's to get the right angle, and if it's got to just slide past the red. No.
Well, he's gone for the cover. Might buy him a little bit of time. Brewer's got to be careful again now. Next shot that Jason will be playing will be trying to develop his one awkward one now that's situated below the red left hand side of the table. And Brewer will be looking to run and hide as quick as possible. Failing that, he might try and cover the top right hand corner, get the red in front of the yellow up here.
Yeah, just looking at the table, that's probably about his only option,
30
Tony.
seconds.
And he's not managed it.
Played it too hard, hasn't he? Now can Jason Twist manufacture something from here?
I'm just thinking they could try and screw back down the table into that, but he can't because it looks fairly straight. Might just have a slight angle, but I think going the wrong way. But, so certainly Jason will be looking to be aggressive here and try and develop that yellow. So he's got that yellow over the corner bag as the insurance. He'd be very unlucky if he snookered himself on that. So let's see, he's just trying to weigh up how he can get to that red and that yellow.
Well, it's a big deep screw shot to get the cue ball down the table. To the left hand side as well, spin off this side rail. There's the left hand side kicking in. But again, not left himself an awful lot. He needs to free that yellow. I don't think the option is there to pot the one over the bag and try and get on it.
I'm just wondering, is the double on Tony? Could he double the yellow past that black?
Well, it's a very tight gap. It's got to come between black and red. I'll tell you what, he's certainly nudged off the black, and that would have been very fortunate indeed if that had gone in.
Well, he nearly had a result there, Jason did. And the way it was, if he'd have played it clean, it wouldn't have made it, but off the black there. I don't really know how the yellow hasn't now stayed out. It seems to have been right in the jaws anyway.
I think Brewer must have been sucking that yellow back out of the pocket. Well, Brewer surely now has got to go game. So he's got to get on that red at the bottom of the table. So he's got to bring the cue ball into the area where those two yellows are. If he gets anywhere down there, he can play a plant across the table. Well, I find that a very strange shot that Brewer's played there. Why on earth did he not play the red at the top of the table and come off the two rails and down? It was a dodgy shot to play that plant because the red wasn't right over the bag, and just look what he's left Jason Twist. Play for the double kiss on it, did Brewer, and didn't get it. And Jason Twist has already got rid of one of his yellows. Second yellow's gone. And now he's got his straight black in the middle pocket. This for 4 in a row. Jason Twist picks Keith Brewer's pocket, and now he strides away into a 7-4 lead here in Blackpool. The Tornado comes to break off frame 12. He's got himself now a 3-frame lead over Brewer. He's also got himself a red off the break, and just look
Red ball potted.
at that for a split.
Looking at that quickly, if the red goes past the bottom left-hand yellow, then reds would be the ball. But other than that, he could take yellows, and that may be his first ball if he can get through to it. Because he hasn't got, other than that, he hasn't got a particularly easy pot on any of the other yellows.
And I think reds are the colour there.
30 seconds.
She hit the 30 seconds called.
Yellow ball's
Well,
nominated.
he's nominated the yellows. We tried to play the plant with the red
Open
onto
tight.
the yellow, and he's made a bit of a mess of that. And now Brewer has come to the table with choice of colour, Sean.
And not only that, he moved that. Jason's moved that bad red that was on the left-hand side. He's moved it over to the right-hand side of the table, and he's given Keith a chance. But I think looks like Keith's going yellows. He still thinks yellows are the ball, which is fair enough. I mean,
I'll tell you what,
Yellow ball's in play.
that could have been very naughty for Keith Brewer if they'd gone in off there.
yeah, he's had
Very close.
been a bit fortunate there. Keith, he ran into 2 balls there, and he still managed to hold position. That he's got this plant along the bottom rail, and the balls are all there for him.
Well, again, it's just the simple stuff to do now for Brewer. Twist made a bad selection of shot. He came to the table, and Brewer's shaking his head there. He's not looking the most confident I've ever seen him. He's probably shaking his head because he wants to cover the bags.
I don't think he'll be covering any bags in this frame. I think he's realised now that there doesn't seem to be any value in that game. Certainly not against Jason Twist, because Jason's just getting down and opening them back up again.
Well, that's a great positional shot there from Brewer. You now want to take one of those yellows on the bottom right hand side of the table. Doesn't want to be leaving himself a plant into that corner. Just wants to steer the cue ball away from that red. He doesn't want to make any little clips on this. Played it very well.
Yeah, it was an excellent shot. I mean, if you remember back to the European finals last year in Nottingham, Keith didn't play particularly well on that day. He kept running into balls, leaving himself out of position, and that's what can happen on a different day, as he did early on in this frame. On the first shot, he ran into 2 balls, but he was fortunate he left himself still on a pot.
Again, he's got the cue ball nicely under control. Brewer is going to pot this and bring the cue ball through the gap between the black and red. And he's left himself bridging over the red. He should still make this, but he's just put the difficulty level up a couple of notches.
Yeah, he's got to be bridging up in the air here to get for that black, unless he runs through. And maybe thinks about taking it into the left-hand middle, but he definitely wanted to be screwing back here and taking it into the bottom left-hand corner pocket, but I don't think we've seen him try that from here now.
Well, he could still get the cue ball back if he just punches down just below middle of that cue ball. He can still come off the side rail and back out for that black in the corner. Well, this is no easy shot. He's now left himself a fairly thin cut into the bottom left-hand corner. Cue ball travelling off the rail and back into all those reds in the middle. And he's just having a look to see which path he wants to take the cue ball, because it's got to avoid either going in off or knocking one of the reds in.
Big turning point in this match here, Tony. If he doesn't knock this in, it could be all over.
30 seconds.
And he's missed the black. And now Jason Twist with a great opportunity. Brewer's got to be absolutely gutted. He's now missed another great chance, and that was all because he left himself bridging over that ball on the yellow. And Twist must be absolutely delighted. This is his chance to get to within 1 frame of the semi-final, and a line-up against Gareth Potts, fellow Englishman.
I don't see any problems here for Jason. He's just going to roll these balls in. Not going to do anything special with the cue ball here. It's just 3 good cues here, and he'd be knocking a simple black ball in, as you say, to take him 1 frame away from the world semi-final.
He just wants to run this in gently. In it goes. Ideally he would have liked to have been further down the table, but it shouldn't make too much difference for Twist. And that's an unbelievable miss. But where's the cue ball going? Is he snooker Brewer? Well, that's incredible. He's laughing at it, but he knows he had a chance then. Brewer could still play a swerve shot here and get this. But unbelievably, Jason Twist misses that red. The cue ball coming all the way down and hitting both jaws. And snookering Keith Brewer on the black. So having to bend round. Brewer needs this ball so badly. Has he got it? Great shot from Brewer. What a black. Drags one back. Trails Jason Twist by 7 frames to 5. Well, it's the Brew, Keith Brewer, ready to break off frame number 13. Unlucky for some. Keith Brewer will be hoping it's not unlucky for him as he tries to get a ball off this break. He's made the red in the centre pocket, but
Red ball potted.
doesn't look too pleased with the collection of balls at the bottom right hand side of the table as we have another look at Keith Brewer's break.
Tell you what, Tony, he hasn't got control of that cue ball. He went across the table and then back across and just hit the knuckle of that middle pocket. Could have quite easily found himself giving the advantage back to Jason there if he'd have gone in off.
Well, I think he sacrificed control for power on his break shot at the moment.
30 seconds.
There's no easy way of taking these out. You've got to feel, I'd certainly feel yellows is the controlling colour here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an opportunity to probably take that one into the top left pocket.
Red ball's in play.
Well, he's gone red, so I won't carry on with that one.
Well, the reason he's played that is because he didn't have to pot a red
Yellow
to be
ball's
on
in
them.
play.
But he's just played an absolute nothing shot there. I know he's blocked off that yellow into the top right-hand corner, but Jason Twist can soon dislodge that one. And that's exactly what he's going to attempt now. He's going to try and cut this in and kick that bad yellow out off that rail. And what a great shot there from Twist.
Yeah, it's a fantastic shot there from Jason. I mean,
well, I'll tell you what now, Sean, he's left himself a cut into the middle pocket, and the other problem ball he's got is obviously the red bottom right-hand corner. He's got a perfect angle now to come down and dislodge this one.
yeah. Well, this is what I was going to say about Keith. If Keith had taken that yellow that was on that Jason's just potted, he would have had a similar angle to pot into the yellow into the middle and run into those two reds, and the yellow's going to go towards the pocket.
Well, I did think yellows were the better colour.
30 seconds.
Well, he's missed a pot, and he's also put the red in front of the yellow down the bottom. As he bangs his cue on the floor in frustration. Have another look. Well, you see, he undercut that one, and he missed it by a fair distance as well.
Yeah, I think he was just looking more at running into those two reds, freeing that yellow up, and he's taking his eye off the pot there. He was cueing rather awkwardly though. He got his hand over the red, and he was near to the other red as well, so didn't make it easy for him.
Well, Brewer's got game on here. And the red will go into the right-hand centre pocket. And all of a sudden, when you thought Brewer was fading away in this match, he's getting back into it. He's getting rid of the one in the centre now. Putting his bottom left-hand corner and trying to get the cue ball in up the table, get rid of the two top reds. In fact, maybe he'll probably be playing the other bottom red.
I was just going to say that,
even
Tony,
easier.
Because it's always taught the pros do about clearing one end of the table and then moving to the other end of the table.
Rest, please. Time out.
Well, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to be that close to it, but you can see he can get through.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be playing with the rest for this shot either. He's called
Time
for the
running.
rest. And,
Well, one thing with this shot, he's going to have to screw the cue ball up the table. As he plays his shot, he's going to get the rest out the way in case the cue ball bumps into it.
that's it, and that's the danger. And the thing is, he's got that in his mind. You just take your eye off the pot a little bit, and he might pot the ball, but he just doesn't get the right position. Here we go. He decides to play it very slowly and go past the black for that red.
Well, he's probably chosen the right shot there. Just make sure he can't come back and contact all the equipment. He's got a natural angle here to drop this in and come out for the second red in the same pocket. And that's pretty good position.
Yeah, this is exactly what Keith wanted, as I said at the beginning of the frame. If he broke and cleared, or if he takes this frame, it gets him right back in it at 7-6.
Just the simple stuff to do now for Brewer. Black ball available bottom right hand corner. This to get within one frame of Twist. And down it goes.
Prime.
And Keith Brewer now just trails Jason Twist by the odd frame. It's 7-6 to Jason Twist here in Blackpool. Jason Twist lines up to break us off. Needs a ball off this break. Wants to restore his two-frame cushion. He's not made anything. And all of a sudden
table.
this game has just spun on its head. See another break off there from Jason Twist, and it was a great split, wasn't it, Sean? But just
Yeah,
sort of
I mean-
lucky. I thought that red was going in the top corner.
But there was 2 or 3 balls there that nearly made it the way into middle pockets, and he's been very unfortunate there that they've not dropped. But as I say, this has given Keith a chance now, a lifeline back into this game. You can take this 7-7, and it's
30 seconds.
playing best of 3 for a place in the World semi-final. Incredible stuff.
Well, this 888.com World Championship's really thrown up some dramatic matches. Appleton and Harrison's 9-8 match went to the wire. That was our second quarter-final. You never know, this one could go the same way. He's put one of each in the same shot there, Sean.
I'll tell you what, that he's played a very, very clever shot, because he wanted to take yellows, I think, and so what he's done is he's played it in a way that the yellow would follow the red, and now he has the opportunity, he has to nominate, and whichever ball he nominates, that again, that's what the ball that he's on, because he's legally potted one of each.
Just look how easy these yellows are.
Foul, 2 visits. Failure to nominate.
Well, Sean just heard the referee call 2 visits.
He has. Keith
Open
should have nominated. When after he potted a red and a yellow, Keith has to nominate. And so the referee, Martin Pearson's quite correctly called foul and 2 visits.
Can you believe Keith Brewer, the man that's been playing pool longer than anybody else in the tournament, has forgot to nominate his colour?
That's just unbelievable, Tony. Absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe it. It's just incredible. But the thing is, Tony, it's a situation that doesn't happen very often. You see, normally you nominate only on the break shot, because you pot a ball. You know, on the break shot you have to nominate. It's very rare that you pot one of each. And but I'm sure Keith played it that way because he wanted to be on yellows.
Well, Jason Twist there wasting his first visit. Luckily for him, he gets another bite at the cherry.
Yeah, I don't think he deliberately wasted that visit, Tony, because that seemed to be a fairly straightforward shot for Jason.
Well, the nerves are now creeping into both players. Brewer forgot to nominate. Jason Twist forgot to pot.
Yellow ball's in play.
But at least he gets another go. Now he's going to have to take these yellows at the top of the table. And surely Jason Twist can put this one to bed. But if Brewer was to lose this match, he will look back at this frame and wonder how in the world he forgot to do the most simplest of tasks that the game requires.
No, that's just unbelievable. Like you say, I think it's just...
Well, it's not even down to the cue. It's not even down to a shot, is it?
No, it's just incredible that you know, I say he's the man that's been playing pool for what, over 20 years at the highest level. I mean, I know the rules have changed a few times over the years, but they've never changed in terms of that. Not for the last 15 years. If you potted 2 balls, one of each, you had to nominate. Simple as that.
Well, and it was also on probably the frame with the easiest finish available that we've had so far. Jason Twist did have 2 visits on this finish. And he's only got 1 left.
I'd say it might have been the easiest finish, but Jason's not made an easy job of it, if you like. He could have left himself a little bit better on this, just to get a little bit down the table. He's probably got slight angle, so he might just be able to stun down the table for the black into the bottom left.
He's left himself in a very good position here now. Simple black ball into the bottom corner, and Twist has really kicked Brewer while he was down. In goes the black, and Twist is now 1 away from the semis. He leads Brewer 8 frames to 6. Brewer trailing Twist by 8 frames to 6 and can't afford 1 more error. Should have won the last frame. He's indeed had a couple of chances as well earlier on. Got nothing off the break, and there's an opportunity now for Jason Twist. If he can play that plant with the reds into the left-hand centre, he has a chance and a route to the semi-final.
Yeah, got a great chance here for Jason. This is probably what he wanted.
Well, this could be match ball for Jason Twist. If he misses this, he's going to leave a simple finish for Brewer, though. Twist has made it, and now the opportunity is there for Jason Twist to march on to the semis. He knows it's there. Now he's just analysing the table.
I'm just wondering if he's thinking about that red that's on the left-hand side, up towards the middle pocket, whether it'll go past that yellow into the bottom left-hand pocket. That could be his one problem ball, if you like. So
I think he goes, Sean. I think he's just making doubly sure that he takes this in the right order. And he might just sneak past there.
30 seconds.
Maybe ideally might want to play it in the centre. So if he does have to play that in the centre, that's got to be his last ball.
I was just going to say that, Tony. Yeah, that's the ball that gets him on the black. So here we go. It's going to answer the question for us.
Well, he'll be going up to the top of the table now if that's what his intentions are, but no, maybe he does fancy it in that corner. My word, Jason Twist's stomach must be churning. He's coughed and spluttered a bit through the game, in the middle part especially. Start off like the tornado of old, but Brewer ground him down for a while. And then we had that twist in the tail in the last frame. Just when you thought it was going to go to 7 apiece.
30 seconds.
Brewer made the most fatal mistake of all, not nominating. And now Jason Twist has such a great opportunity here.
I think whoever does take this match, Tony, they're going to have to play a lot better than this in the World Semi-Final against Gareth Potts, because certainly in the back end of the match, Gareth Potts was flying. He certainly looks to be a man in form.
Indeed, Sean. And Jason Twist would have loved to just come down the table a couple more inches. Even if he pots this in the centre, his next ball's going to be difficult, and that's why he's refusing it. Well, he's huffing and puffing on this finish. And now he hasn't quite got the angle. He's got to try and get the cue ball over to the centre of the table just to get the two reds that are available top left corner. But as you see, if he plays this shot, he's going to kiss into that yellow ball that's on the rail, and he's going to have to play this quite firm, and it's not easy. Well, my word. Just look what he's left himself, Sean. This can't be the right shot.
Well, I can't believe he's just played it that slowly. I know it was difficult, but where he feels he's had a bad contact there, he's asking Martin Pearson, the referee, to clean the cue ball, but he certainly didn't seem to play that right. He's got to get back across the table.
Well, the only shot he's got here now, he's going to have to play the red into the other red in the corner. We'll have a look at this in the middle again. Well, I don't think there's a bad contact there. I think he's bought himself a bit of time, Sean. But the only shot he's got here is the bottom red. He's got to play it onto the other red, into the top left corner. And this is to hold on the last red ball. Well, hold on to your hats, because this is such a massive shot for Jason Twist. He's missed the red. He tried to clip off it, hit it too thin, and now left Keith Brewer at the bottom of the table. And you just know Keith Brewer is going to stick the cue ball in behind those three yellows on the bottom of the table.
He'll have to be a bit careful though, because if he does, and if he leaves a route on the right hand side of the table for Jason to get back, he wouldn't put any money against Jason not coming off the side rail and knocking one of those balls in.
Thirty seconds.
Well, Brewer just be trundling this into the corner and looking to stick Jason Twist behind these yellows at the bottom of the table. Just going to glance off one of them and tuck him in behind her. Is he actually going for the game?
Yeah, I think he's decided it's not working for him, the tactics, and he's going to go game, although that's not the best shot either, because he's going to have to force this in to get that cue ball back up the table here.
No, I don't think you'll see Keith Brewer forcing anything. It's not in his nature. He'll try and run this in and play the trickier yellow into the left-hand centre. But while he's going for this finish, he's also giving Jason Twist maybe a glimmer of hope that he might get another go. Oh, what a great shot from Brewer.
Yeah, fantastic shot from there. Keith has developed that yellow out, and here we go.
Brave shot to be playing there when you got yourself dangling over the cliff, ready to drop out of the tournament. Well, Brewer's dream is still very much alive. Now he's just got these 3 simple yellows. He's going to take his time. These will just get perfect position. And now he's got a nice angle. He's going to play the yellow bottom right hand corner, bring the cue ball off the bottom rail and back up for the yellow in the centre.
Again, you have to be careful with that waistcoat here, Tony.
I don't think he's going to make the same mistake as Jason Twist did earlier in the match. And that's pretty good indeed. And Brewer is not going away. In goes the last yellow, and now the simplest of 8 balls into the bottom right hand corner. Down it goes, and Brewer's still alive. Trails Twister by 8 frames to 7. Jason Twist to break off now. Frame 16 out of a possible 17. Twist just requires one of them. Brewer wants both. And Twist has got nothing off the break.
Open table.
Just having a quick look there. It doesn't appear to be anything easy. Reds might possibly be favourites. It's just down to his choice here as to which he wants to take.
Well, I think in the day that
30 seconds.
maybe red balls are probably slightly better one, Sean, as you said. But Brewer, in his own mind, he might decide to take a different path than anybody else and maybe pot one and cover a pocket, try and get a firm grip on the frame. He's opting for the reds.
Red
Having
balls
said
in
that,
play.
he attacked the last one when he had his opportunity and it worked for him. So maybe he's decided to abandon his safety game altogether and take a more cavalier approach.
Yeah. Well, that was what was happening when he was trying to play the tactical game. Jason was just getting in there and breaking it up. So I think we say a change of attitude here from Keith, and let's go for this. At the end of the day, he's the one that's down in this match, just one frame away from being eliminated. He's just weighing up here now where he wants to be on this next shot, Keith. So I think that's his only problem ball really, is that one that's closest to the black. He's just weighing up if he can get in there, maybe take it into the left middle.
At the moment, the left middle is the only place it goes. It's not only just got to be on it, it's got to be on it with an angle to get onto the last red, which will be the one that's on the rail, because that gives him the easier position onto the black. He's left himself an angle now. The red on the far side. This by no means is an easy finish, especially when you consider that one error could lead to the exit of this year's 888.com World 8 Ball Pool Championship, and he's Coney
Yellow
covered the
balls in
bag.
play.
He didn't mean to do that. The only bonus for Keith Brewer is he's not left anything easy for Jason Twist.
We've seen earlier though, Jason doesn't need anything easy at times. He just takes it by the scruff of the neck and away he goes. He's got one ball, so it's or either ball, top right middle, top right pocket, sorry, and
You're going to perm every one of the pockets on the table, Sean, aren't you? Is that because of that shot he played earlier in the match?
yeah, it was the one that went round the table. I thought, well, he's got to go in one of them.
Adopt, I think, a more conservative approach here, Jason Twist. He's obviously starting to doubt himself a little bit. He just missed an opportunity to win his match in the last frame. I think he might be electing to just cover. And he's not covered. And there you see he's left a gap for Brewer. But again, the only red that Brewer can see is the one that's next to the black. I'll tell you what Brewer's going to do here. I think he's going to play the red that's just above the black, knock that yellow that's to the left of it and try and knock that safe where Brewer's controlling that bottom left-hand corner pocket.
And not only that, try and free that red up, and he's done exactly what you said there, Tony. He's moved that over there.
Well, it just buys Keith a bit of time, and also puts Jason Twist in a bit of bother.
He's given Jason the opportunity though to block off this other, the right-hand corner pocket though now, and again possibly leave him with nothing on. No, he's going to pot it, I think. Play the tactical foul.
Foul.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what he's done, and Brewer now has to go for the finish. There's no way that he can cover that bottom right-hand corner. He's going to have to waste a shot first of all, which is obviously the red that's nearest to the cube. He's going to have to knock that in the open, and he's going to have to get game. I think Jason Twist has played a very positive shot there.
I'm just wondering here whether Keith is he weighing up that trying to flick that red away from the bottom left
30 seconds.
and take the red that's on the side rail out as well, and free them both up into pottable positions.
Well,
It's
that's
a
an
risky
option.
shot.
It certainly is a risky shot, but it is an option, Sean, because there's not a great deal that he can do here.
Second
Well, that's
visit.
not a great position. He's going to have to play now. There's only one shot, and that's to cut the red ball that's on the rail down into that bottom right-hand corner off Jason Twist yellow and bring the cue ball back across the table. And this, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is about a 15.
Yeah, I mean it's quite easy from that distance and this angle that he'll overcut this and either knock Jason's ball in or.
Well, it's just so much that can go wrong, Sean,
Yeah.
with this shot. Well, what a brilliant shot from Brewer. The man has played such a great shot there for the amount of pressure he's under. You know, he's 8-7 down. And that's the, you know, if he misses this, plays this wrong, he doesn't get position, he could have kicked into the black, he could knock the yellow in. Anything like that is the end of his tournament. Great shot.
Yeah, and he's still got some work to do here as well.
Well, that's correct as well. He's just climbed K2, he's got Everest to go.
30 seconds.
Just wondering, does that red go into that middle pocket?
Very, very tight indeed, and queuing again close to the jaw of the pocket where his hand is. He's gone up in the top corner and he's clipped the yellow. Now Jason Twist is now a massive favourite. Brewer knows it's out of his hands now. He can just sit there and all he can do is hope and pray.
Well, Jason won't get a better chance now than this. Take this frame and the match and put himself in the World semi-final against Gareth Potts.
Well, as soon as he can, I think you'll see Jason Twist attack the balls at the top.
30 seconds.
Not touching the cushion.
Well, would you believe it? Jason Twist decides to adopt the safety approach.
Yeah, I think the problem with that, Tony, was those yellows weren't sitting particularly cleanly to be potted. I think he was concerned that if he tried to force the one that was nearest the pocket, it wouldn't go.
Well, I think he knows that Brewer's red at the bottom of the table and also the black are in trouble anyway, and he wants to really make sure and make Brewer maybe coming out of a snooker in a minute and try and get 2 visits for this finish, because he did have an opportunity in the last frame. He's not made contact.
2 visits.
Well, that's unbelievable. Brewer just plays the foul shot there. Tried to hit that very thin to try and cover that corner pocket. And Twist has played a great shot there. And now really, Jason Twist knocks this yellow in at the top. It's just the simple stuff to do, and he's got 2 visits to do it with as well. He can hear Gareth Potts calling out to him to meet him in the semis.
Don't quite know what Gareth will be calling out though, because I think Gareth's game was on earlier on, and Jason has struggled this afternoon. Ever since those early frames, he took a 3-1 lead. He struggled badly, and his game is certainly going to have to improve. if he's going to progress to the final.
Well, that's a great positional shot there from Twist, and now the door looks like it's going to be firmly closed on Keith Brewer's 2005 attempt to win this 888.com World Championship. Still got a visit in hand, Jason Twist. Left himself close to the rail, but he won't bother. This is all over. And Twist has played that perfectly. He'll be a relieved man. He did miss a chance last frame, but this black for a place in the semis. Down it goes, and Twist is through, finally defeating again Keith Brewer by 9 frames to 7.
So Jason Twist then finally taking it by 2 frames, 9-7 he goes through to the semi-final stage, but it was hard work. Joe Fanto has been watching the action with me here in the studio. Joe, it was nearly the full run, wasn't it? We very nearly went to that final frame, but credit to Keith, he made a real match of it.
Yes, it was one of those games where it looked like Jason was going to run away with it at the start. But then fortunes changed and things happened, and somehow it just seemed to nearly go the distance.
Yeah, well,
just one of those matches.
There we go. It was Twist who goes through. So now let's remind ourselves of what happened in the quarterfinals and indeed what will happen in the semi-finals. Chris Melling beat Keith Jones 9-5. Phil Harrison just shaded a marathon against Darren Appleton 9-8. Yannick Beaufils went down 9-3 to a very informed Gareth Potts. And as we've just seen, Jason Twist has got home by 2 frames from Keith Brewer. That means that the semi-final lineup looks like this. It's Harrison against Melling, Twist against Potts. An awful lot to look forward to here at Blackpool. So to make sure you don't miss out on that action, join us next time. In the meantime, from all of us here, it's goodbye for now.